Welcome to week 11. I completely skipped week 10. I think I filmed on one day, which seemed a bit pointless to put that up. But we went down to Essex and saw some of my family, which was lovely. We all had a big picnic. In terms of Elise and her not being particularly well, things improved. She had 4 horrendous days, which I filmed during some of them. Then she got a little bit better. The GP put her on ranitidine, but she started to improve before the ranitidine. So it's hard to kind of say whether it helped or not. And that's for reflux, which I felt was under control with Gaviscon, and that whatever was going on was something in addition. And she had a few good days, and then she had a few bad days. I'm not sure if you can hear her, she's asleep at the moment. So we've just come back from seeing the GP again. The GP is going to write a referral to paediatrician because something isn't right. We don't know what. We've tried the obvious stuff. The GP feels that if it was a reflux issue, the ranitidine with the Gaviscon should have sorted it out, and she's clearly still having problems. So our plan now is to stop the ranitidine to see if things get worse, because if things get worse, that means the ranitidine was helping. Because I found it hard to tell if it has been helping, because she improved a little bit before starting it, but it could be that it has still improved things, which is why she went for a few days without having another bad couple of days, or it could be those bad days could have been worse if she wasn't on it. Anyway, it's all a bit of trial and error. So yeah, we're going to stop the ranitidine now. If things get worse, then we'll speak to the GP, see if we go back onto it, and if things stay the same, then it wasn't helping, and at least we can take that information to the paediatrician and see what they say. Dan has gone off to get the car serviced, and I'm just going to potter around today because I'm not feeling brilliant myself. You might be able to see I look quite shiny around my mouth. I had an allergic reaction on Monday, and I'm still trying to get my lips back to somewhat semi okay. They were weeping quite badly. We didn't have a great night last night. Someone woke up at 4:45 and didn't stop screaming. But Mum and Chrissy are up, my sister, and we've come into town. We're doing some charity shops. Mum has given us each £5 to do a charity shop challenge, see what lovely things we can find for just £5. We've got a few other bits to do in town as well. And I've tried to do a front wrap cross carry with a pond finish, but it's gone a little bit wrong. So I'm going to take a photo. I'm going to ask in one of the Facebook groups I'm in and see if they've got any suggestions. But I wanted to try this because it has neck support for Elise, but it's also a longer carry, so it gives my back some support, which I really need after last night and having to rock a screaming baby and a very wiggly baby. My back is really hurting, so I need a little bit of back support. I didn't actually think I would manage a one shoulder carry with my dodgy shoulders, but actually on my less bad shoulder it's quite comfortable. I've readjusted and I'm a little bit happier. Mum and Chrissy have gone into Wilkinson and I've got the dog. This is Sweep, and we've attached him to the bench so that he doesn't pull me away. And we're having fun sitting outside, enjoying the weather. This is also a good spot to get Pokestops. So I got this mustard yellow dress from Age UK for £2.99. It's a bit on the short side, so I'm going to need to wear leggings with it, but that's okay. It'll be a good autumn dress. And then I got a cropped short-sleeved cardigan, again from £2.99, but this was from the PDSA. Dan wanted to come to Primark today to get some school bits. He's going to put Elise in the pram. I'm not going to wear her so that I can potentially try things on. Did I say we were going to Primark? We're going to Primark. And I've got a, can't remember what it's called now, Polaroid cube that I got for my birthday. Oh, my chair's ready. Thanks, darling. So I'm going to try it now, and then if I can figure it all out, my aim is to attach it to my Sling when I'm out with Elise, and we can have Lissy Cam. Dan treated me to this dress in Primark. You may have noticed that I've been a little bit absent, both in vlogging and on social media. Elise has had a really difficult few weeks. I've not been very well, and it was just to sort of stick my head in the sand, keep going as much as I can, but stop all non-essential things. And I feel like I don't even know where to start in filling you in with what's been happening, to be honest. Let's start with Elise. Elise has been getting worse and worse and worse. I had a hospital appointment on Monday, and she projectile vomited on me twice. Once when I was in the changing room, so I changed her and then fed her, and it just everywhere. And then once on the train coming home, she's had some really difficult nights where, can you hear her? She's gurgling and grumbling. A few really difficult nights where she just won't be put down. She's in so much pain, she's screaming, and it's not her fault, but she's managed to subluxate my shoulder as a result, because she's just squirming and she's so unhappy and in so much pain. So we picked up some lactose-free milk. She started that, I want to say Wednesday afternoon, evening. It's now Friday. It's now Friday, and since she's been on that, we've had no projectile vomit, and she isn't farting every 5 minutes. So it feels like, even if this isn't the solution, this is a stopgap to at least help us get through until we see the consultant. She's a bit happier. She is gurgling, sort of trying to have a conversation with us, which she hadn't been during her screaming phase. She's going to sleep a lot easier. I'm not having to hold her and console her for 3 hours non-stop. So it feels like progress, and it feels like things are a little bit easier for me as a result. And in terms of me, not only have I been dealing with joint issues from Elise squirming and writhing around so much and causing me problems, I've been really quite poorly with PMS, and I phoned up my consultant secretary because I still haven't had an appointment to see him, and the hospital have well and truly outdone themselves. My antenatal care wasn't very good. I would say poor. My care on the ward after having Elise was neglectful. And now it turns out that the maternity team have discharged me instead of referring me back to my gynecology consultant, who I've seen for more than 10 years. So currently, no one can help me. His secretary and he have done everything they can to try and get this sorted. Their hands are tied because I've been discharged. So I've not been in a very good headspace recently. Finding that out has brought back a lot of memories about the antenatal care and the problems with that, and then problems during recovery after the cesarean. And I've just buried my head in the sand and sort of, I don't know, waited until I feel a bit better. My GP, I went to see my GP yesterday, and she was brilliant. She was as frustrated and horrified as I am. She's writing the referral, and my gynecologist has asked that it go to a specific department because they can get me in as an emergency. So hopefully it'll all be sorted in the next 3 weeks so that I don't have to go through that again. But we shall wait and see. So that's why I've not filmed. Today we're going to London. We're going to London because I've got an appointment with the gastroenterologist. Oh, it's so much hassle. It's worth it to get the right care, and she understands the Ehlers-Danlos syndromes and the gastro implications in those. But I've got to. From our last conversation, there is nothing that can be done to help. So I'm hoping this will be our last appointment, and that we can either leave it open in case I have problems and I can get back in touch, or the GP can re-refer me if we need to. But it doesn't feel like it's going to be productive for me to go down for future appointments. So we'll see what happens. My mum is meeting us in London to help with Elise. Yeah, so I should start getting ready. Luckily, it's a 4:15 appointment, so I don't have to leave super early. It's nearly 11 o'clock, and I think I've worked out I need to leave at 12:45, so I've got some time. And if you notice some shiny around my mouth, I'm still having problems with eczema and hives. We switched medications, antihistamines, and that's helped, but it hasn't solved the problem. So this is the second one we've tried because the first one didn't work, so 3 in total. And yesterday the GP suggested upping the dose, which she said is off licence, so it's not something they would do as standard, but we haven't got any other medication options. She could throw in a nasal spray or similar, but that's not going to help the hives, and they're the biggest issue at the moment. So we're going to give that a try and see how it goes. But my eczema is still problematic, but a lot better than it was. So that's the shiny. I'm using as well as using aqueous cream for the eczema, I'm using the lanolin nipple cream, which seems to be really helping. So keep going with that. I need to get Madam ready. I need to get myself ready. I need to pack the bag. And I need to work out bottles, because we've been using, when we've been out, we've been using the pre-made formula. I can't do that with lactose free. There are no pre-made formulas that we can find on the market. So I need to prep bottles, I need to get water ready, I need to weigh out the powder and get all that ready so that we are okay to go. And I need to check the nappy bag has everything I need, because I haven't checked it recently, and the last thing I need is to get to London and find out that I don't have something I need. So that's the plan for this morning, and then we'll head off. I really need to work on my vlogging. I didn't do any yesterday, partly because Elise got a little bit upset and I got a little bit overwhelmed. Yeah, going to London with a baby and a wheelchair is quite a mission, and we managed it, but I didn't want to add any extra stress in with getting my camera out. But it was really positive. I have been discharged, which was what I was hoping for. The gastroenterologist is happy that I'm managing my symptoms as best I can. She was thrilled about Elise and that she's here. Yeah, she mentioned she was actually more interested in my non-gastro difficulties. She mentioned the Stanmore rehabilitation program, which would be amazing to do, but I don't think I would be comfortable doing it while Elise is so little. It's a 3-week inpatient stay. You stay for 5 days of the week, you go home the weekend, and you repeat. So you do that for 3 weeks. And we would also need to sort out my photosensitivity for me to be able to manage, because it would be in a hospital setting, so loads of fluorescent lights, nowhere to escape them. So I don't actually know if it would ever be possible, particularly as you sleep there, so it's fluorescent lights 24/7 for 5 days. But it takes a long time to get on to. You need a rheumatologist's referral. So she said even if I were to start the process now, it would be at least a year until I was accepted and was able to do it. So I'm going to talk to the GP. Dan's not happy with the idea at the moment either, just because Elise is so little, and I'm of the same frame of mind, but if I speak to the GP, at least she knows there's another specialist who is recommending it. I think she's the 4th now who has recommended I do this program. So it may happen in the future, it may not. And at the moment, I'm waiting for a parcel to arrive. A very exciting parcel. I have a bit of a love-hate relationship with parcels arriving because I have to be sat right by the front door in order to firstly get to the door to answer it, but also know that someone's at the door. We have a doorbell, most people don't bother to use it, and I can't hear if they knock on the door, so I'm camped out on the sofa, still in my nightie, haven't cleaned my teeth. Elise is in her bouncy chair asleep, in the hope that my parcel arrives. I've had a text sorry, my brain is jumping all over the place. I've had a text message to say it should be here by 12 o'clock. So then I should be able to open it, which is exciting, get in the shower and be able to go out later on this evening. Dan's got a choir rehearsal and concert, and I used to sing with the choir before Elise arrived. So we're going to go for the end of their rehearsal so they can all see her and say hello. So now, because I don't know how long it's going to be and Elise is asleep, I'm going to try and get a blog post up. This would be my first in 2 or 3 weeks, I think, so let's try and get that done. I managed a paragraph and Elise is awake. This is what my life has become. I will never, ever get anything done ever again. And I really don't mind, because she's so worth it. Our exciting parcel has arrived. This is a parcel from It's a Sling Thing, who are an online sling hire company. They've sent me the fire spiral birches in a size 3. I think this is Natty Baby. Yep, Natty Baby flamingos in a size 4. Then we have a Didymus Diddy tie, which is a type of Mai Tai, and then a Calin Bleu ring sling. I honestly don't know what I'm more excited to try first. The way It's a Sling Thing works is you hire something and you pick how long you want to hire it for, and then you send it back to them after the hire period. Some of their slings you can also opt to buy if you really get on with it during your hire time. It's a good option for if you're going on holiday and want to take something away with you but don't want to buy your own. It's also a great way of trying before you buy. So this has given me a great chance to try a smaller size than I'm used to. I've been intrigued by size 3s for a while, but don't want to buy one and then it turns out that I don't get on with it. And I'm also intrigued to try a ring sling and a wrap tie style. So for me this is a great way to try different options because I'm not able to get to a sling library, at least not at the moment. My closest one is a train journey away, and then I believe it's 20 or 30 minutes away from the train station, which is really, really hard for me to get to, particularly with Elise. Can't get a taxi because of car seats. So I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to get to my local sling library. Hopefully I will. It's great to have a hire option available so that I don't end up buying things and not getting on with them and wasting money. Massive apology, I've really not been in a good headspace recently, so I haven't done as much vlogging as I would have liked. Elise and I did go up to the choir, and the choir had already finished rehearsing, which was a real shame. So that didn't help me much. I got really fed up. Just because it had taken so much effort to tie her up. I keep saying tie her up and I need to stop. To wrap her up, get out of the house. I was already in a lot of pain. Been to London the day before. And yeah, it was just, I shouldn't have done it. It's my own fault. I shouldn't have tried to do it. I pushed myself too hard and got annoyed when it didn't pan out as it should. But never mind. Saturday and Sunday I've not been feeling great. I've done very little. I've just been trying to stay in a better headspace and get myself into a better mind frame. And today is Monday and we've just been to have Elise's next set of injections. She did really, really well. It was 1 oral suspension and then 1 injection. The next set's going to be 3 injections again. She screamed, obviously. I'd be worried if she didn't, but she did really well. She calmed really nicely. And then we've come home and I've had a really exciting email from a company called Calin Bleu. Actually, they haven't emailed me. I emailed them to start off with. They make wraps, baby wraps. And they have the short size 3, but then their next size is a size 6. So they miss out 4 and 5. And I find 4 really helpful for when I have to tie sitting down, which is most of the time. The bigger sizes are great if I need the extra back support, but I've only used a bigger size a few times, actually even when my back's been bad, because it is easier to tie sitting down, and to, if we're going on a long day out, like a hospital appointment, to readjust a size 4 I find easier than readjusting a longer wrap. Now it might be because of the type of carry I'm doing with the size 4. I need to play around with that, but I'm babbling. The upshot of it is they're going to make me a custom length and they're going to make me a size 4 in 2 different colours. They have black and pink still available. They're out of purple. So they have said that they will make me my own shorter size 4 length in black and pink, which is amazing. Their wraps are particularly good because they are made from cotton gauze, so they're going to be a lot cooler in the summer. They're also not patterned. I'm having problems with wraps in that so many... Can you see my pussycat? I trod on him yesterday. He was sat in the doorway and I was holding Elise and I didn't see him. He's forgiven me now, it's fine. And I need to stop playing with my hair. My fringe, I can see in the viewfinder, my fringe is not playing ball. Neither's that bit of hair. Where was I? So a lot of baby wraps are actually really, really patterned, and with my photosensitivity, my brain just can't handle it. So I got in touch with them and they've said they will make me my own sizes, which is so exciting. And if you can see, my face is red around here. I'm still having allergic reactions. We're on the 3rd antihistamine. The GP has doubled the dose and I'm still having daily reactions. I think I might, yeah, I'm having some there as well. So I'm about to look into VOG masks because I can't think what else to do. I'm going to go back to her sometime from Thursday because I feel like I have to give it, I'm still filling my hair. I feel like I have to give it a week's trial to see how things go. But I can't carry on like this. It's exhausting being in a constant allergic reaction, even if it's mild and sort of, well, what's going on at the moment isn't like behind the scenes because you can see it, but some of them are more mild, but I can feel them bubbling away under the surface. Anyway, I'm babbling, I'm going to stop. Elise is asleep, she's been very calm since her injections. I managed to get the blog post I was working on up on Sunday, and I've started working on a fashion post, so I just need to finish writing that. I will do the photos later in the week. Yeah, just get through the day really. It feels like that at the moment, and it's really silly. I feel like I'm not coping, and actually I'm coping really well. And I know that in my head, I just feel like I'm not coping. I don't think I've told you the massive, massive mess up from the hospital. I've been under the gynaecologist at the hospital where I had Elise for more than 10 years now. I was referred from him to the maternity team for antenatal stuff, and they were supposed to refer me back. And they discharged me instead. So part of the reason why I've not filmed quite so much, and also why I've been feeling a bit rubbish, is that my first period hit and I have really bad PMS, and it's been really, really, really difficult. and I'm still dealing with kind of the emotional side that's lingered a bit. Not only from the PMS itself, but from the fact that the hospital are useless. I've had to go back to the GP. She's had to refer me back to the hospital. Consultant and his secretary have been amazing, and they have given the GP the sort of emergency pathway route to get me seen as soon as possible. They're keeping an eye out for the referral, but at the end of the day, they can't do anything until they have the GP's referral, and it takes time to do that, and we should never have been put in this position in the first place if the maternity team had only done their job properly. Yeah, so you can tell I'm a little bit cheesed off about that. Not very happy. So I've just been dealing with that. The weather is nice, so I thought I would come out and take some outfit photos. I've put some makeup on. Shock horror. Doesn't happen very much at the moment. Yeah, put some makeup on, taking some outfit photos, and I'll just show you my setup that I've finally managed to figure out how to make it work. I'm excited because now I can take outfit photos. Before I was going over to my parents 2 doors down, using their outside, and I'd had to go through the whole house, conservatory, and I just couldn't do that with a baby. But now I've switched up my Instagram theme, so I don't have to be quite as stringent with the light background, so I can use my garden, which, look at these pretty flowers. Dan's done such a good job with our garden, so it's nice to be able to make use of it. So there's my camera and tripod set up. I don't think you can see me in the viewfinder, but I can see me in the viewfinder. And then in the kitchen we have Elise, where I can see her, she can see and hear me, so we are all good. She's looked after, I'm able to get my photos done, and a moment ago, you might not be able to see the feather on the lawn, Milo was playing with a feather, which was quite amusing to watch. I've just had an Amazon delivery. The first is this. It's a buggy organiser, but I intend to use it underneath my wheelchair. My rucksack is really too heavy for the back of my chair. I'm concerned it's going to tip me backwards, or at least not help matters. So if I can put all the stuff that I don't need regularly in here, like sun cream, things that I have to have with me, but I don't need to access on a regular basis, in here underneath my chair, that would be fab and really help the sort of weight tipping issue. And then the second parcel was a Vog mask. Really struggling with my allergies, don't know what else to do, so I'm going to give this a try and see if it helps just to reduce how much I'm coming into contact with allergens that are causing me to break out in hives. And I think my mask was also a success. I wore it while outside, going to the coffee shop and then coming home, and I had a mild reaction, but it was more mild than previous ones I've had recently and didn't last as long. So I think that's a good sign. At least I'm hoping that's a good sign. We had a difficult night last night after having said just how well the lactose-free milk was doing. Yes, we did. We had some projectile vomiting and lots of screaming, and then this morning I have found a patch of eczema. But it's not allergy. No, it's not allergy. I'm convinced this is allergy and we need something more than lactose free.
Vlogging.
Vlogging. We're on the way to Nando's for dinner with some of Dan's old school's work colleagues, friends. And Lissy has slept the entire journey after screaming for the first 5 minutes or so. This is good. And I spent most of the journey editing photos ready for Instagram. I like to be organised, and I've got to the point where I have 1 or 2 photos I can share and then I'm out, so I thought I'd sort that out. And in the car, Elise has been asleep, so I've been able to. Dan has just come out with, we didn't mention the ignoring the husband bit. That's because I was concentrating. He's being mean to me. Tell him to stop. He just gave me a really cheeky look in the mirror.